Hey guys, it's Mrs. Saucetta. I'm here to show you how to complete our Chalk Talk for tectonic plates. So at the bottom of this Prezi, you'll notice that there are some arrows. You really only need to press one arrow to do this. You just need to press the right arrow, and that will take you through everything. So you're going to start with question 1. So it says, what would the world be like if there were no convection currents in the mantle? So you're just going to click on the link, and this will take you to a Jamboard. And then it has the question again. So this is called a Chalk Talk. This is a way that you and your classmates can collaborate. So we want to be able to see everyone's answers, and you're supposed to respond to another classmate's answer. So the question says, what would the world be like if there's no convection currents in the mantle? So you know the convection currents are what move our plates around. So if the plates weren't moving, if there's no convection currents to move our plates around, what do you think the world would be like? So you're going to answer the question, you're going to read all of your classmates' answers, and then pick one of those answers from your classmates to respond to. And you can do a post-it note or a text box. You can do it on this page, and if the page gets full, then you can move over to another page and do your answer over there. And just make sure you're reading over your classmates' answers and responding. Once you're done, you can just exit out. It will save automatically. And then you hit the arrow to go to back to the front, and then hit the arrow, and it'll take you to the next question. So what problem would you encounter when trying to travel to Earth's core? So you're going to click on the link so you can answer the question. It will take you to a new Jamboard. And you're going to do the same thing again. What problem would you encounter when trying to travel to the Earth's core? So we know that when we're going to the Earth's core, we're dealing with a lot of different things. So I want you to think, what are some of those challenges? What are some problems that you're going to run into? And maybe think of ways, how could we solve that? And so you're going to answer the question, you'll read your classmates' answers, and then pick one classmate to respond to. If this one gets too full, then flip over to another Jamboard page and put your answer on there. Like I said, you can use post-it notes or you can use a text box. Just make it neat. Make sure it looks nice and neat. Once you're done with your answer, exit out. Hit the arrow again. We're going to go to question 3 now. Which plate boundary do you think affects us the most and why? So we're going to click on the Jamboard. So which plate boundary do you think affects us the most and why? So we have diverging plates that move away, converging plates, they can either collide or we can have converging subduction, and then we have our transform boundary. And so I want you to think about the landforms they create, the events that happen when these plates are sliding past each other or crash into each other. And I want you to think which of these plane boundaries movements affects us most. Why do you think that is? So you're going to answer the question, read your classmates' answers, and then pick one classmate's answer to respond to. Use a post-it note or use a text box. If this gets too full, then click on over to a new page to put your answer on. Once you're done, exit out. It will save automatically. Once you're back to the Prezi, you go ahead and hit that arrow so we can go to question 4. So question 4 says, how can you remember the order of Earth's layers? What is something that has layers like Earth? Go ahead and click on the Jamboard link. So you can come up with maybe a little saying to remind yourself of the layers. You can take the first letter of each word and make that into a new word. You can take the first letter of each word and make that into a new word and then make it into a sentence. So think about some ways that you could remember which order the layers go in. And think about what are some other objects that might have layers similar to Earth that you could compare Earth's layers to help remind you. So go ahead and answer the question, read all of your classmates' answers, and then pick one classmate to respond to. You're going to use a post-it note or a text box to make it neat. If the page is too full, click over and go to the next page. Once you're done, you need to exit out. It will save automatically. Now we're back on the Prezi. You're going to hit that right arrow again and go to our last question, number 5. You're going to describe how magma can be released from the asthenosphere. You need to describe the actual plate movement. So there's different ways that magma can be released. And so I want you to think about one way and how would the plates move to release that magma, okay? So think about some ways that magma can be released. Click on that Jamboard. Again, you're going to grab a post-it note or a text box. You're going to answer the question, read over your classmates' questions, and then pick one to respond to. Make sure it's neat. If it's too crowded, then move over to the next page. Once you're done answering, exit out. That's your last question, and you can exit out of the Prezi once you do all 5 questions. If you're confused, make sure you tell me. You can comment on the assignment.